I was pregnant, I had a normal pregnancy, and we did the routine blood work and labs in effect, and he came out negative for those. Around when he was 6 months old, I knew there was something wrong. He was just starting to roll over, and all of a sudden there was a time when he just stopped doing everything. So I took him to his pediatrician, and I told them my concerns. And initially they tried to tell me he was a late bloomer, but it's almost that mother instinct where, as if something else is wrong.
Veronica was right about her maternal instinct. Anthony was diagnosed with Aicardi-Goutieres, a very rare syndrome.
Aicardi-Goutieres syndrome is a form of leukodystrophy which affects the brain and his muscles. He has hypotonia, which means he has a low muscle tone. He's very weak, and also as far as the leukodystrophy, he has as for us, we have a certain gray matter that protects our brain. He doesn't have that. He has like very little of that, which will later affect like other things, which at this point we're not sure. It's a case by case thing as far as the syndrome, because it affects kids differently.
Most children with Aicardi-Goutieres syndrome never walk on their own. However, Tony is a rare case and recently learned how to walk without a walker. Though this is a huge accomplishment, Veronica has other hardships she encounters on a daily.
It's hard being a single mother in general, but once you're a single mother with special needs child, it's even more so difficult because he has special needs and he has special medical needs. He needs therapy, he needs weekly therapy, and I need to make sure he gets the therapy he needs. I think for me, the hardest thing is not being able to have a full-time job. With Tony, I have to worry about paying the bills, and on top of that, making sure my son gets all the needs he needs met. And it's not a question, it's just I have to do it. He's my son, and of course I want the best for him, and that's what he needs. A typical day for me is when I do work, I'll wake up, try to get my son together, get him breakfast, and get him ready. I'll drop him off the babysitter, come, just the typical. And then after work, I'll, pick him up from the babysitter. I'll come home, make sure I feed him, take him a bath, put him to sleep. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays are more of my hectic days, because on Tuesdays he actually has 2 therapies in the morning. We wake up early in the morning, I get ready, I get him ready, I try to give him a good breakfast because he's actually in therapy for 2 hours. We get to the hospital at 9, from 9 to 10 he has physical therapy, and then from 10 to 11 he has speech therapy. And once I get out of the hospital, I usually get home around 11:30, 11:45. And then by 12, hopefully he's already fed by 12. Then I change his diaper before he goes to school, get his stuff together. I have to put it here because Tony will squeeze it. So this is to prevent him from squeezing the juice box. Usually I let him explore with his food, but since we're like in a time crunch, I'm trying to feed him. Come on, let's see. You gotta eat something. Come on. Can you grab one? Can you grab one? Tony, please. Can you grab one? Good job. 12:05, 12:07, around there. I'll go ahead and put him in his chair. I'll strap him on and just wait for the bus to get here.
Hi, how are you?
tomorrow, we'll head back home, and then again, I have to make sure he gets something to eat. Alex, goodbye, Alex, goodbye. Saturdays is actually the one day out of the entire week we can just relax. Saturdays, just like a fun day. We can either just relax, go to the park. Careful.
Once the weekend comes to an end, Veronica has to prepare for another busy week, and although her duties are not easy, she explains what keeps her strong.
What keeps me motivated is, my son, all the progress he makes, and then, he's just a happy kid, so, I can't help but be happy myself when I see him, and he's everything, like with the special needs kids, they make you, kind of change your perspective in life. Like the little things are what count, and that's what my son has showed me, and I'm just happy. I wouldn't change it for the world. As hard as it is, I wouldn't change it.